Hello friends, welcome to Simply Chemistry. In the last video, we learned how to predict the number of NMR signals for a given compound based on their chemical environment. In this video, we are going to quantify the number of signals by using chemical shift in NMR. The name itself shows that we are going to compare the signals with the internal standard. The general standard what we use is the tetramethylsilane, and we assume the del value of tetramethylsilane to be 0, where your del, the chemical shift, is given by mu of the sample minus mu of your TMS divided by the frequency of the operating frequency into 10 power 6 in ppm. So do not confuse with the concentration ppm. This is a different unit which we use in the chemical shift of NMR. So this is a schematic representation. This is how your NMR gets plotted. So this is for your TMS, or in other words I can say it as 0, and along this direction the del value increases. So this region we call it as the downfield, this closer to 0 we call them as upfield, and we get the spectra along this direction. So let us see, there are different factors that governs the chemical shift. So we know very well whatever that affects the electron density in a molecule, that automatically affects the chemical shift. The first one is the inductive effect. So in organic chemistry we would have learned this inductive effect. I'll just give you an example. Now here we are going to compare the electron density in case of methane and fluoromethane. So we very well know that fluorine is more electronegative, hence it starts to pull the electron towards that, but same is not possible in this case. Hence what happens to the electron density of the molecule will be more concentrated on the fluorine over the rest of the place. It will be kind of less. The electron density will be less in this region, whereas it will be more concentrated around fluorine because of its high electronegative nature. So obviously what we call it as the decrease in electron density, we call them it as de-shielding happens. So this process of de-shielding takes place, that will increase your del value. I repeat once again. So we know very well that fluorine is more electronegative, so it will start to pull electron towards itself. Hence the electron density of the molecule will be more concentrated on the fluorine. Hence the rest of the molecule will have decrease in electron density. We call this to be de-shielding takes place. So whenever there is de-shielding takes place, the del value is higher, or in other words we can say those protons take up at downfield area. In other words, higher del value when compared to that of fluorine. Similarly, if you compare between the halomethane so I hope you can easily arrange them in the increasing order of their del value. So we know that fluorine is more electronegative than chlorine, than bromine, than iodine. Hence, the chemical shift value of these protons, for this case it will be higher, followed by this, and followed by this. We know that inductive effect also depends upon the distance between the substituent and rest of the molecules. For example, you can take this molecule, that is fluoropropane. When you see the impact of fluorine, it will be more on this proton, comparatively less on this proton, and very negligible on this proton. When the distance increases, the inductive effect or the de-shielding effect goes down. So let us move on to the next factor, the anisotropy effect. So in other words, we can say a not uniform electron density. So let us see an example. So we know ethylene molecule or ethene. So the carbon involved are sp2 in nature. So it's gonna be a planar molecule, because both of them are trigonal planar geometry. All the bonds are gonna lie in one single plane, but the pi bond will be projected above or below the. So this is how the sideways overlap takes place. So the pi bond density will be either above or below. So what happens is that the pi bond density will be more concentrated along this region. Hence, these protons are far from the electron density. Hence, they get de-shielded. So, higher del value. So, we'll see one more example in case of acetylene. This is a different scenario. The reason why is it's a linear molecule. We have electron density on the plane perpendicular to the bond axis. Also, we have one more plane above and below. So it's something like a cylindrical arrangement of electron density. So it will be like a cylinder. This is how the electron density takes place. You could see these hydrogens are in line with the electron density, so they get more shielded. Hence, the value goes down. So if they are shielded, the del value goes down. If they are de-shielded, the del value goes up. We'll see one more example. The third one is the hydrogen bonding. So we very well know that a hydrogen bond is nothing but whenever a hydrogen is bonded between two electronegative species such as oxygen, nitrogen and fluorine. So we know that these two species are high electronegative species, so they will withdraw the electron density towards themselves. Hence, the proton gets more de-shielded. So in this case, again the del value goes up. Let us see an interesting example where some of the protons are shielded and some of them are de-shielded. The best example is we can take an aniline. It is a molecule, anilines. Well, it has alternate pi bonds. There is a huge electron density around the center. So these are hydrogens, and these are hydrogens that are projected outwards. So from the example, it is very clear that the protons inside the ring are highly shielded. Hence, a drop down in del value is observed. In reality, they actually have a negative del value because they are more shielded when compared to that of even your GMS. Whereas the protons outside, so these protons are shielded, the proton outside are away from the electron density, so automatically they are de-shielded. Hence, a higher del value. So we'll see one more example. We'll compare the chemical shift values of the underlying proton in case of methanol and methylamine. So only these protons we are going to compare the del values because of the inductive effect. We know oxygen is more electronegative than nitrogen. So if it is more electronegative, so the electron density pull will be comparatively higher when compared to that of this case. Hence, the protons of methanol, that is CH3 protons of methanol, will have a higher del value when compared to that of this compound. In case of substituted benzene rings, for example, you can take this. So we have a fluorine atom here. So what would be the values of the So generally actually this gives 3 proton NMR signals. So this and this are of same nature, this and this are of same nature, and this is of same nature. We just marked it for your reference. So here, if you remember the electrophilic substitution on the substituted benzene rings, then it will become very easy for us. So we know though halogens are electron withdrawing group, they are actually ortho and para directors, that we already know. That means when you just try to add an electrophile to this, whenever the ring attacks it, so the electron density is mounted on the ortho position and the para position more when compared to that of on the meta position. So in other words, I can say the protons HA and HC are going to experience more electron density when compared to that of HB. Hence, the del value of HB will be higher when compared to that of HA and HC. So let's see one more example for a meta directing group. So let us take this example. NO2. So in this case again we have a similar kind of arrangement, same 3 signals, but in this case the attack on the electrophile is directed on the meta position more when compared to that of HA and HP. So in this case your del value of HA and HC will be greater than H. I hope you understood. So let us see some practice problems where I just wanted you to only arrange the order of the del value. Theoretically, we are not yet to quantify the values, but still I want you to arrange them theoretically. So these are the practice problems. I want you to try it out. So I wanted you to compare the proton NMR del values in case of water and H2S. Then in the second case I want you to compare the values of A kind of protons with the underlined B kind of proton. Again in case 3 I want you to compare how the values of HA, B and C will be. Likewise for this one, here I am giving you the answers. Your del value of protons of H2O will be higher because higher electronegativity. In this case again B is close to oxygen, so your delta of hydrogen B will be greater than delta hydrogen A. So we know very well, though it is bromine, halogen, they are actually orthoparadirectals, hence your HA and HC are going to have less value when compared to that of HB. The same case physically, you know that OH is also a orthoparadirector, so we're going to have the same values. So the values going to be kind of. So in this case again, if you say HA will be comparatively greater than HC because the distance again the factor. So this is actually close to OH, whereas this is kind of far from OH. That's the reason why we can even arrange it this way. Thank you for watching.